Good morning, and welcome to the What Inspired Me Today podcast, a podcast created to inspire you to be the very best that you can be. My name is Stephen Matthew, and this is what inspired me today. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. It is an honor and a privilege to be speaking with you today. I want to begin by thanking all of you for continuing to support this podcast. Thank you to all those that are subscribing and commenting as well. Your support means the world to me. This week, I want to use a quote by Marianne Williamson. You may have heard it before in the movie Coach Carter. The quote says this: "Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us." In the movie, they add on another sentence that says, "When we let our light shine, we subconsciously give other people permission to do the same." The reason why I was thinking of this quote this past week was based around a conversation I had with a loved one, and it triggered for me this idea and thought about my own life and the pivotal moments that it took. Because in our lives, there are so many different conversations and events that happen that mold us and shape us into who we are today. I come from a family of educators and preachers and teachers, and I married into a family of educators as well. So education is really important to me and in my own life. I know in my own life that it was because of a handful of wonderful teachers that I am where I am today. But conversely, I know that in my own life, that it was a few bad teachers that almost destroyed my academic career and my own self-confidence. This is because we, especially as children, we take what we hear from the adults that we trust to be fact, even when it might not necessarily be the case. And even if it is not fact and we're cognizant of that, the feelings do not change either. So, what this memory triggered for me in my own life was remembering the value and the importance of what we do in our own lives and how we can affect change with the people around us. What you say matters. What you say to your children matters. What you say to your spouse matters. What you say to your siblings matter. What you say to your friends matter. What you say to your bosses and people above you, but even more importantly, what you say to people that are in subordinate positions from you is also important. Because we have in our own lives the power to make or break people. And so be careful of what you say. It is our light and the things that we can do that most scare us. What that means is that we all have a certain level of self-confidence. And it's that self-confidence that we should build up in the people around us. You can break a person by breaking their self-confidence. And that is not something that we want to do. It is something that is evil and malicious and really insidious. Because when we break someone, when we break them of their self-confidence, we are actually stripping away that individual from reaching their full potential. I have learned through hard experience the value of our words. This is why I make this podcast, because my ultimate intention is to bring life through the words that I speak to the people around me. Now, will this podcast blow up and become famous? Who knows? It doesn't matter. For the select few that listen to it, I want to encourage you that you are worth it. I want to encourage you that your life matters, that your work matters, that your goals, that your aspirations, that where you want to be matters. And you might not change the entire world, but as you make incremental changes in your own life, you will see monumental changes that occurs all around you. That is my goal. My goal is to speak life because I want to make sure that I do not break down anyone's self-confidence. Because as the rest of the quote says, at least in the movie, it says that as we allow our light to shine, we subconsciously give other people permission to do the same. Now, when we let our self-confidence flow, that is not arrogance. That is not prideful. that is actually sticking true to yourself and being your best authentic self. When you are authentic, people will naturally gravitate towards you. People will naturally listen to you. People will naturally come to you for advice and for your wisdom. Now, this is not to say that you have to be wise or anything, or that you have to be able to provide solutions to all their problems. No. But what that means is that people have an inherent trust in you because you are being your authentic self. Part of being authentic is to be able to make mistakes. And I encourage people every day that it is okay to make a mistake. I encourage my students when I teach them, hey, it's okay if we fall. It's okay if we mess up. What we have to do is to get ourselves back up and then look at the situation. Where did we mess up and how can we improve in the future? This is the same thing that goes with when we are teaching people, right? If I'm teaching people or if I'm preaching, I don't want to put out this message or to put out this image that I'm perfect. I am far from perfect. And because I'm far from perfect, it gives me the empathy to realize that I am talking to people that are also imperfect. And we are all imperfect. This allows me to be my authentic self. It means that I am not going to break myself down because I am not showing my perfect self. This is something that I've had to learn as I grew up, especially as a pastor's kid, right? We have this image that we have to uphold, that we have to be perfect. And I actively fought against that when I was younger because I cannot pretend to be Jesus when I'm not. But what I can do is something that he instructed us, all of us, to do. And what he said was, if you have a light, you do not want to hide it under a pot. You want to put that light up on the mountaintop. You want to put that up on a hill so that other people can see it. The light that I have in me, I cannot allow other people to dim it. And this is something that's difficult because when we think about our younger selves and we think about situations we've been in, maybe you heard someone say something bad about you. Maybe you have been bullied. Maybe you have had discrimination, or maybe you have been in situations where people have tried to verbally break you down, maybe physically, maybe emotionally. In our own ways, we have to learn to grapple with our past, but to also heal from it as well. The way to heal from that can take many forms. For some people, it might be through therapy. For other people, it might be through faith and through prayer. For other people, it might be through exercising and mindfulness and whatever techniques might work for you. But as we grapple with our past, we can then develop our future. I had to learn this in my own life, taking a very specific situation where someone I trusted and someone who should have given me all the support that they could did not. They questioned my character and they questioned my level of leadership, but I knew in myself that I cannot allow this person who has no control over my future to dictate who I am and where I am going to be. And so now I am in a position where I can influence other people. I am in a position where I can teach and I can encourage and I can give support as much as I can, not only to those that are above me in my leadership, but those that are also younger than myself or those that need support. Be the change that you want to see, as Gandhi said. We should all have a clarion call to make the world a better place. We cannot dim our own light to make sure that other people are pleased. We have to be our authentic self in order to ultimately help all of those around us. So here's what I want to encourage you today. Be your authentic self. Learn from your past mistakes and do not be afraid to make mistakes. Remember to encourage and uplift other people. As you do so, the rising tide lifts up all boats. As we encourage our family members, as we encourage our friends, as we encourage our colleagues, as we encourage those older than us and those that are younger than us, we are affecting change. Don't listen to the naysayers. If you know who you are inside, let that light shine forth. And as you shine your light forth, then other people will look at that, and subconsciously it gives them the permission to be their best self as well. So in today's podcast, I didn't want to give you a whole breakdown and list of what to do. What I wanted to encourage you is that you are enough, and what you do and what you have to contribute in this world is important. What you have to give to this world is important. What you have to offer to those around you is important. I want to encourage you that your light is something worth shining. It is your light that can shine forth and let other people see who you are, who your Creator is, who they need to become themselves. So, with that said, have a great week.